was some night, man. I'm still cleaning the custard at my socks.
Fair enough.
Hello and welcome to the Phil Shy podcast. I'm Peter Bell and with me as always the nice man of comedy, Paddy Linton.
Hello.
So how you been this week? Anything exciting?
Alright, no, just been fucking running a bit like a mental case. Paula was away.
Aye.
And I was living feral. So I'm glad she's back now. Everything is in order.
To keep you in check.
Aye. How about you? How's your week been, mate?
Oh, the taxi driver was playing Love It When You Call by The Feeling. Is that retro yet? I don't know.
Is that going to be just rolling in your mind for the next 6 to 8 months?
It kind of gave me a flashback to, aren't you the guy that's obsessed with Orson's No Tomorrow?
Oh yes, that is a banger. Me and Kyle Samuel loves it as well.
I think that was through exposure in your gaff.
Kyle was saying that he went on a school trip and he had an MP3 player and that was the only song on it, and he said he listened to it about 120 times over a weekend.
That explains so much about Kyle, man. Anyway, we'll start with some football news, and as we briefly covered last week, Ipswich, they've only gone and got promoted back to back. It's a really incredible achievement, to be honest with you, because I don't think anyone would have expected them to do back-to-back promotions one after the other, especially with teams like Leeds, Southampton, Norwich, who are always going up and down, and Leeds really should be.
Leicester.
Well, Leicester they won.
I know, but it's like a team to compete with. Like,
aye.
Because the championship's a pure quagmire. I don't know if that works. It is though, innit?
I mean,
like,
it's
when teams go down, they tend to get stuck for a while.
Aye.
If they don't bounce back up in the first season, like you can be like West Brom and just disappear for a long time.
I'm trying to think. So I think they're the fifth team to do it. Do you know who the other ones are to go League One, Championship, Premier League?
Fulham.
Just say, I'll need to get this.
Under Al Fayed.
He did get them up quickly, but I don't know if they're one of them.
Oh, that surprised me. Luton did? I don't know.
So one of them's Watford. So here we are. Watford, Man City, Southampton and Norwich are the teams to have done it before. Yeah, that's right. New football fans. Man City were in League One in the Championship not long ago.
In our lifetime.
Yeah, we were alive for that. I mean, I think Sean Wright Phillips started playing when they were in the Championship. That shows how recent it was. The goal. No, that's Sean Goater. Another player, none of you new guys. On the other hand, it wasn't a very good season for Birmingham, who sacked John Eustace when they were sixth in the Championship and have been relegated.
Yep.
So it turns out hiring Wayne Rooney, not a brilliant idea.
No. What happened to his heat? What happened to it though? Like I seen him doing a bit of punditry.
He's got his
heat.
It's expanding.
He's got that mad swollen algae heat.
Maybe. Well, there you go. That probably answers it.
To be fair, I'm no far off myself, man. Look at this thing. But like,
he's going to have to keep paying for more and more hair transplants. So he's going to keep getting bigger and bigger.
I know. He's getting charged by square metre.
He looks like the kind of guy that you just don't fuck with in a pub now. Like,
aye.
He looks proper rough.
Any guy that's built like him with a heat like that's wearing a body warmer, stay back for him, by the way.
The thing is, though, Birmingham, for some reason, at the final game of the season at home, despite being relegated, the fans decided to have a pitch invasion. Which is usually something you say for when you win. But there's this guy, he somehow finds himself at the ball and then pings a 35-yard shot into the top corner over like 50 players.
That's what I was going to say. Like over like more than that, about 100 people. Just like whips it.
And I don't like...
And it got a massive cheer. The biggest cheer of the season.
But like there's people that struggle to get a ball over a wall of like 4 people, and this guy's pinging it in over like half that stand. And I don't know if you've done your goal of the season yet, Birmingham, but get to that guy.
Just get to that guy.
Whoever he is. I know you probably need to find him for
give him a wee plaque. I know, give him a lifetime stadium man and goal of the season.
I mean, you just got to love football fans. Like, we've just been relegated. What should we do? Invade the pitch, right? I'm just going to have a dig here and see what happens.
Remember that, like, Scotland did that against Estonia in like late 90s, maybe. It was because it was John Collins that kicked off, so it would have been the late 90s, and Estonia never turned up. So like the fans just had a game. So the Tartan Army just ran on and they had like a 200 aside.
And if you don't know anything about the Tartan Army, they like a drink.
Oh, aye, they were steaming.
They would not have been good at
There was a guy in a full like regalia with like the bad thing that comes out the shoulder and all that, just skinning cunts. Like, amazing.
Oh, I need to go and
do you know,
find that.
here's a fact about that. So, like, Estonia, we should have got a walkover, a 3-0 win. But Estonia somehow managed to talk their way out of it, and we had to replay the game in Monaco, and we drew nothing each, and it cost us a qualification for like fucking France 98, Euro 2000 or whatever.
Was there some kind of civil war that maybe got them out of it or something?
Oh, maybe, aye.
Aye, you know.
But they're always scrapping because they love it. That's a favourite thing to do.
First bit of racism of the day.
Xenophobia, technically.
Sorry, yeah. I should get that right. Other news: David Moyes, it's been confirmed, will leave West Ham at the end of the season, despite being arguably their most successful manager in the past half century.
I would say fact. Just count the trophies.
One.
Yeah, exactly. It's quite easy to count them when it's one.
But Julian Lopetegui is expected to come in and replace him, which is, again, I'm not sure that's the best idea. I've just closed my bloody notes. But Lopetegui, what do you
turned into like a real woman now. You turned into Agnes. Like,
Agnes.
Just close my bloody notes there.
Sorry. Paddy doesn't like it when I don't swear on the podcast. Just close my fucking notes. We spoke about David Moyes and what he's done at West Ham last week, so we'll talk a bit about Lopetegui. So he's managed Porto, Spain, Real Madrid and Sevilla. So it's pretty impressive CV.
Yeah.
It's not exactly been a trophy-laden career. He won the Europa League with Sevilla, but that almost doesn't count.
Aye,
that's what they do.
They're favourites every year, even when they're not in it.
Exactly.
They'll parachute in and win it.
It's like boasting about like winning the NBA when you've got Michael Jordan in your team. It's like, well, aye. It's what you do. Or PSG winning Ligue 1. Oh wait, they don't always actually do that. That's a bit of a given. The only other trophies were with the Spain under-19 and under-21s team. And again, it's Spain. You know, like not that surprising that he won trophies there.
Aye.
Did quite well with Wolves when he came in, but they weren't exactly prolific. They were quite a defensive team.
Yep.
In 27 games, they scored 28 goals. So if you're expecting a complete change in football from David Moyes,
I think it's rough on Moyes.
I really do as well. But
I know they got a tank in the weekend, but
we will discuss that game later. But
in the grand scheme of things, they sold Declan Rice. Didn't replace him. Like, didn't really spend much of the money.
No,
and he won the Conference League. They were sitting a comfortable mid-table. Like, I don't know what more you expect.
I think that they're still in the top half right now, which, if you're West Ham, surely that's good. But I don't know. What next for David Moyes, though? Where does he go? I think there's a team in Manchester that might be needing a new manager.
After Monday night's result.
The return of the Moyes.
That'd be fantastic. Don't see it happening.
No,
but,
of course it won't happen.
I think he'll probably go... When Everton inevitably sacked Dyche 8 games into next season.
That's so harsh on Dyche, man.
But like, see when the same as West Ham, because he's a hero there. See, the same as West Ham, even though West Ham are doing fine, it's the football that's fucking up. So the fans will turn on you quickly if you're playing shite football, and I think fans will turn on him.
I don't know where else.
Or it's just me that hates his football and I just can't get my head around
it. I could see if Forest get fed up with Nuno, he could be the kind of guy they would go for.
I don't think he'll have trouble, but he might even retire. Like, he's in his 60s now.
Yeah, I suppose he'll have earned enough money. You imagine his payoff from Man United would have been pretty substantial. We used to do a wee quiz back in the day. Wee quiz questions.
Aye. So I took every fibre of my being now to read this.
Yeah, well, I'm very proud of you.
Thanks, mate.
So basically, what I'm going to do, like, maybe not every week, but every now and then, is I'm going to take a player from 442's 100 greatest Premier League players.
What edition? Is it like last year?
Last year.
Oh, right, aye. I thought, because when I think 442, I think 1999.
I sometimes buy it.
I'm going to be like, I don't know.
because I don't know why. Like it's an outdated media, but I do buy something.
I will like Mike Lone.
So I'm going to give you some clues about them. I'm going to be saying I, as in speaking on behalf of this person.
All right.
Like just because you'll call me out on it if I don't bring up the fact that that's how these clues are written.
All right.
So okay, so I'll give you some clues. Here we go.
Right.
The clues get easier as we go on because otherwise we'll be here forever and a day.
Right.
So clue number 1: I started my senior career at Southall. If you get it off that, I'd be fucking impressed.
Neville Southall.
No. 2: I am a member of the Premier League 100 club, scoring 149 goals in top flight English football.
Jermaine Defoe.
No. Clue number 3: I spent the majority of my career at QPR, making 166 appearances for them.
QPR?
Yeah.
So it's way back.
It's 80s to 90s.
Aye, that's what I mean by way. It's way back. So I don't know. You don't know.
4: I released an autobiography in 1997 called Sir, insert first name, despite not receiving an MBE till 2005.
I don't know, mate. QPR's pure throwing me. I don't know.
I made 17 appearances for England, scoring 5 goals.
Emil Heskey?
No. He
Never
played way
mind.
more than that.
But that's a Heskey return, let's be honest.
I appeared as a star in the reasonably priced car in Top Gear.
Oh, you didn't.
I have 2 cousins who played in the Premier League, one of whom was significantly more successful than me.
I think I've got it, mate. Aye, just you can read it for anybody playing at home. You can read it. I think I might have got it.
It is that, yeah. You're supposed to guess. I'm supposed to tell you if you got it.
I know,
right.
but like you can read it the rest to see who gets it.
No, that was the last clue.
Oh, was it? Thank God.
That's why I saved it for last. Otherwise, I'd need to go, I am somehow a Newcastle legend despite only playing 2 seasons there. It is, of course, less fair.
If you'd have said Newcastle, I'd have got that.
Aye, but that's why I didn't say that.
If you'd have told me Newcastle,
he did whisper Les Ferdinand, so he did get it on the very last fucking clue. Right, okay, so let's go on to the weekend's games. And we'll start.
See if you were doing like that as the first person, you should have blacked up for the video podcast. It would have made it a lot easier. It would have made it a lot easier. You're right.
That's what I should have done. The same episode you said they're always kicking off over there
about Estonians.
Yeah, no, you're right. That makes it fine. It's the Liverpool Spurs.
It's for art. It's art.
Okay. I'll be sure to use that excuse
the next time you have to do it.
Right, so Liverpool Spurs. Liverpool really needed this result, but Spurs could have done with it as well.
I don't know if they needed it. I think it's a bit too little, too late, isn't it?
Well, not needed it in terms of winning the league,
or just
needed it in terms of not being shite anymore.
For like the. Because it'd be shite if like Salah didn't start and they had a big fawn out, and that was how
Klopp
it just petered out.
Yeah. Because
sorry, use your name. Like
no, but it would be a shame for someone like Klopp to just like fade away without any kind of joy in the last few games. To be fair to Spurs, though, their run has been rough. They've had Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, and Newcastle in their last 4.
Mate, Newcastle have got a good chance of finishing above them now.
Well, they've got a chance,
because they've started to play Man City as well.
It's not unrealistic, no, but I'm hoping they beat Man City, Patrick. So,
or even a draw all day.
It looked like it was going to be a rough game right from the start because Salah had that like unbelievable chance where he hits the bar. Like,
they cross it.
I don't think that was a cross.
Do you think so?
See, when you look at him when he's taking it, he's looking right at the goalie.
Oh, is he?
Aye. I mean, some people think he didn't.
I think just because he went for the outside of the foot.
I know, but it's the way it bends to the air and the way he's clearly looking at Vicario when he hits it. And like, see if it was just a normal footballer, I'd be like, he's messed up across there. But Salah's one of the best in the world, and you're like, he could probably do that.
Do you think he stays?
No, he was so close to going at the end of last season, and I think a Saudi team's going to come in
and bid like 200 million or something.
They wouldn't need to do that because I don't know how long he's got left in his contract. Also, he must be 30 now, surely. Like
he's definitely over 30.
Well, you're not going to get that kind of money for someone like that, and they'll offer him all the money in the world. He's a Muslim himself, so it'll just make like complete sense for him to make that move. And I think
plus I think he does loads of charity work in Egypt, so like he will.
It's a lot easier for him.
He'll spend that money. Like,
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And I mean, it's a lot less of a commute from Saudi Arabia to Egypt.
Commute.
I'm not implying that he commutes from
Egypt to
Egypt every day. No, I mean, like, if he's doing charity work and he wants to go home.
Aye.
Yeah, so I think that does make sense. Liverpool's pressing game was like proper back to old heavy metal football Klopp.
Yeah.
It was like, and Spurs didn't know how to handle it at all. They crumbled every single time they were pressing them.
Like, see against weaker teams playing out for the back, I think they're all right. But see against a Liverpool, that are like, that've got the bit between their teeth.
Yeah,
they're just going to get done all the time,
and they're low on confidence as well, which that won't help. There was a few chances that Liverpool had early on. I think someone else hit the bar. Salah forces Vicario to make a save. Elliott gets a shot blocked off the line, I'm sure, by somebody.
Romero.
Yes, who was again all over the place, but this time in not such a good way.
It was everywhere, but like in a bad way.
It's not. It was kind of a slightly out of character for Spurs the start of this game, because usually they're good at retaining the ball. They just can't do anything with it. Yeah, they just don't find a way through to score. And in this game, they just could not get a hold of the ball. They couldn't
keep the ball.
Yeah, because Liverpool were just pressing the shit out of them. It was a very good, very impressive performance for Liverpool. And the wingers had a lot to do with that. So I noticed watching it that always one winger would be like really peeled out wide. Yeah. And then the ball would go to them, and then they'd just run like hell at whoever the fullback was. Yep. And they were just shouting it.
They were on their heels,
aye. And the other winger, come on off the other wing, just make space in the box, because everyone's like, he's not going to win a header. It's Mo Salah.
As Mo Salah.
He's not going to win a header. Oh, yeah.
Scores a header.
Goal. Vicario arguably could have done better with that.
Aye.
But it was a brilliant ball from Gakpo as well. Like, the cross.
Is that how you see it?
I believe so.
I've been saying Gakpo this whole time.
I believe in Dutch, the G's don't work like that. Like,
so it's no FC Groningen?
Groningen, I think.
Is it?
Yeah, because Vincent van Gogh, as we would say, is actually Vincent van Gogh.
It's Van Gogh.
There's no G, it's just Gogh. Like that.
It's just Gogh.
Yeah. So Matthijs de Ligt, you don't pronounce it.
Oh, no, well, I call him Delict. Delectable.
That's your own business. What else is there? So I mean, good header from Salah, but the keeper maybe should be doing better. After that, like, Anfield just got really, really loud for a bit. And Vicario, anytime they were trying to play it for the back, he was shiting it really, really badly.
Anfield looks class these days since they've done it up a bit. Like, there was a shot of like Klopp with a new top bit of the stand, and it just looked fucking class.
Paddy's an architect, you know, you got the top bit.
I am. I'm like the guy that kid's on, he's an architect, and there's something about Mario. About the soccer stadium in Chile. You built the Stadio Olimpico.
Anyone when they're either going to look at a car for themselves or like go with someone else, you know, just wanting a bit kick the tires, going like, what's the horsepower in this bad boy? It's written on the bit of paper right there, mate.
I'm going to get on him into architecture.
I'm not sure you'll.
It's a classic Art Deco. Art Nouveau. I don't know what either is.
You're just sitting there going, that's lovely al fresco. What the fuck are you talking about? No, you're a chef. You'd actually know that, what that means.
Mate, I usually rip you for bringing up Carthage and stuff and never thought about architecture.
Yeah.
Here we go.
It was his fault this time.
It was for once.
As for the second goal, again, similar thing. Like winger really out wide, and then they whip in the ball, and this time it's Robertson that's coming up.
See, because it was Andy Robertson, when I first seen it in real time, I thought it was a scuffed shot. And then it turns out it was just an unbelievable pass.
That pass, the touch, the composure, the control to actually pull that off. Because there's that is definitely meant. He knows exactly what he's doing at that point.
That's a guy that knows his limitations. He's not going to just swing a left foot at that.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to get to the guy that's better than me at this.
That's former Scotland teammate Robert Snodgrass. That is clearing the stadium.
Drive-by and Robert Snodgrass.
He was all right. He was demonstrably fine as a footballer. He was class. He was not class.
He was class compared to us.
But I'm not claiming to be a professional footballer.
True. Is he still gone?
Probably not. I wouldn't
That's
imagine
Snoddy.
so. I mean, I don't mean he's dead. I mean, he's just not playing football anymore. As far as I'm aware, Robert Snodgrass is alive. So relax, ladies and gentlemen. I'm saying it like any ladies listening to this.
Apart from my mom.
My sister. What was it? What goal was that? Was that the second or third?
That was the second goal.
Aye. Third goal was exactly the same thing.
Hackball's header.
Aye. It's like, I think what they've done is they've clearly watched Spurs fail to defend a corner with any dignity and gone, how can we recreate that? I love that. That's
it's so mean. With any dignity.
I'm
left without the dignity.
It's been a lot of years before last season and this season when Arsenal have been better than Spurs again, so just let me revel in it. Okay?
Yeah, that's true.
But I think like obviously they've really struggled with set pieces, mostly corners. So they've gone, right, how can we try and recreate that in open play?
Aye.
And the way they're hitting the balls in, because Liverpool were never a cross heavy team. They like always on the ground,
swinging them in.
Aye, they were just like, deal with this the entire time, and it worked. And again, another winger scores a header. I know Hagball's quite a tall winger, but you'd still imagine
great header because the ball didn't come in with a lot of pace. He had to like swing at it.
Aye, it was a really good header, but you still hope if you were Ange that Van de Ven or Romero would be able to challenge him properly in there, and it just for whatever reason it didn't happen.
I don't think they got a challenge. I think he was just right between them.
Yeah,
like neither one went.
It's because they just weren't tracking those runs in from the wing at all, which is probably the job of one of the fullbacks or one of the wingers.
Because under Ange, the fullbacks are in the centre circle. So
Porro's got hundreds of assists, but absolutely no defensive work whatsoever. Yep. So it's something they'll need to work on, because people are obviously beginning to notice this is something they can take advantage of. Because Liverpool did, like, in a real big way at the weekend. And then Elliott just scoring a screamer, kind of ruining my point. But
I feel like a screamer's kind of rare these days.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? Like, because of the way football's changed, where like it's like play it into the box and like, just like try to like cut people's open. And like possession based, like don't take a shot and give away the ball.
Like
I feel like people don't shoot for that range as much as they used to in the glory days of Shearer just pinging it.
It's possibly true. It's just because the game's become so technical now. It's so about not losing possession.
It was probably when they've made a goal in a month in 2001. But like it's one of the best goals of the season.
The thing is, like, see the way he struck it. His legs are like diagonally like that, and the top of his body is like that. It almost looks like he's dislocated his entire torso. You know,
Dane Michael Jackson and beat it.
Basically, but that's how he manages to generate the power and the curl without skying it over. It was such a well hit shot, and he really deserved it for his performance in that game.
Such
he was
a good
brilliant.
player, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite hard to describe what he does normally, because he's not always scoring goals or he's not always getting assists, but he's busy. He triggers the press a lot of the time. It's him that's like going after people.
I feel like he would be fine playing right wing as well.
He started out as a winger. I think at Fulham he was a winger, and they have used him on the wing as well. He's just basically one of those players that if you play him anywhere across the midfield, or he'll probably be happy. Other than defensive midfield, so long as he's on the front foot.
And a lot of passes and dribbling.
Yeah, a lot of the really good pressing work was him. He won the ball back a lot, so he had a really, really good game.
Then it got to 4-0 and Spurs were like, we should start playing now. We should start making chances.
I know, it's like 70 minutes. They were like, should we do something? So I don't know if you know this, that's quite late into a football game to decide to start playing.
Man. Groundbreaking stuff on the old Full Shy podcast. I love it.
But we're giving you things that no other podcast does, because I bet no other podcast says that sentence this week.
It's a game of two halves, isn't it?
Although Alisson made a brilliant save from it, I think it was Son. It turns out Richarlison was offside. But there was no one else around him. It was one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and he just swats it out there and sends it flying up the pitch.
It's the fact he stays on his feet so long.
Yeah, it was proper
commit either way.
Schmeichel style goalkeeping.
Running out and just staying big as possible.
Yeah, it was really good. Although he did concede a goal to Richarlison later, so he's got to live with that.
See, there are a few Richarlison over the years.
I know, which is immense shame. Maybe just feel sorry for him. He's a Brazilian teammate. He's like, just put one past me. It's fine. We're 4-0 up.
He's been hitting a sad gene in it.
Stop making fun of him for being sad.
What? I suffer from bipolar. I can take the piss. I can take the piss out of depression. No, that's
Salah had a wild shot at some point as well, didn't he? Like,
the one where it was spinning and bouncing, and he's
so
just
the ball
got
comes
his feet
back
all
in,
right,
and he just manages to put it wide.
I don't understand why he just doesn't swing with his left, because he's balanced as well. It's not like
is that more like a Chris Woods one where because it's such a failed attempt, it doesn't count. There's another one from the weekend. I thought, I'll put that in my remember.
Because he never made contact with it. Nah, I don't think it registers.
Yeah.
Still a horrendous miss. Fortunately, it's at 4-0 and they can have a laugh about it.
I was at 4-2.
Oh, was it? Aye. But even at that, still.
Yeah, you're still...
Because Liverpool started taking the cunt a bit. Trent had a volley for the halfway line that just skimmed him up.
Yeah, he did, yeah. To be fair, he's one of the few players in the league that could genuinely pull that off because he's got such quality at long distance. Here's a fun question. Are Tottenham's defenders good? Because we've been hearing all season a lot of praise for Van de Ven and Romero.
It depends. Are they good at defending?
Well,
no.
That's the key point. In the last 4 games, they've conceded 13 goals.
Aye.
And we're constantly hearing about how solid a partnership that is.
I think they've got amazing strengths, but big weaknesses. So obviously Van de Ven's the quickest player in the league, which is rare for a centre back. Yeah. But playing the ball out, he's not that great. Romero is solid, but he's a red card waiting to happen and will sometimes just cross a halfway line for no reason. So as well as they've got good strengths, massive weaknesses, and you've got to depend on them much more in a system where the fullbacks are playing so far up the pitch.
Yeah, and you don't have a real solid sitting defensive midfielder in front of them as well. It's like Van de Ven's like Vertonghen, but he doesn't have his Alderweireld alongside him. I think Van de Ven is a really good centre back, and he's young. He's only going to get better. But I think he needs someone a bit more. Someone who doesn't decide to try and become a centre forward halfway through the game as a centre back partnership, or
decides to just bust somebody's calf muscle in half.
He's been quite good for that in the past.
He's reined it in a fair bit, but
the next game he's just going to stab someone or something.
It's going to happen.
Arsenal Bournemouth.
Yes.
I'm glad Saka was all right.
After Christie tried to break his shin.
Yeah. I mean, Christie,
he definitely did try and hurt him as well, which I didn't think Ryan Christie even had in him.
No, he didn't show that in Scotland at all.
Where it's practically legal.
It's actively encouraged up here. I mean, he's all right, thankfully. He didn't get badly injured, but I'm just Christie, where's that come from?
I just came right out of the ball.
I like you. Don't be an enemy of football. Don't injure Saka.
Scottish, mate. It's Euros coming up. He saw an opportunity and he took it. Fair play to him.
Yeah, because we're going to end up playing them.
We might get them in the semis.
Is there a failed to qualify competition that I'm not? Arsenal were really hammering the Bournemouth goal very early on. Yeah. Put a lot of shots wide, to be fair, but the Bournemouth defence looked quite solid.
Was Havertz playing through the middle?
Yeah.
He looked good, by the way.
Yeah.
He's been excellent the last 10 games or so.
He's grown into the sort of target man
sort of
role where
kind of like Firmino.
Where his job isn't to try and score, but get the ball to him, he'll hold it up and then he'll play in someone else. And he looked really good in that role over the weekend. So that might be a new direction to take him in. I'd still like them to go out and buy an actual striker, but I'd like a lot of things.
Hands off Isak before we start shite.
We'll talk about that later. What else do I want to say? Rice, he had a real good chance when he volleyed it wide as well. Can't really be angry at him. He scored a bit later on. But what was the first goal? Was the first goal the penalty?
I can't mind, aye.
I think it was. Yeah. What do we think about that penalty? Because I'm sure some people were saying.
Or the one where so Havertz like left his leg in.
Yeah.
But like it looks like a dive, but the keeper actually makes contact with his front leg first.
Yeah.
He does leave the second leg in, but he's already been tripped. He still made it look like a dive somehow, even though it wasn't.
Yeah,
that was a weird one.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, see if it hadn't been given, I'd have been a bit annoyed, but I've probably been like, he is looking for it.
Aye, good, because he just straightens his body, leaves this old Ashley Young.
Aye, and it really did look like a dive.
Yeah.
But either decision, it's not getting overturned for that one. And then obviously Saka puts it away. So not letting this country down on that occasion. We've already discussed Havertz. Second goal in the 69th minute.
Yeah. Love it.
Some great awareness from Declan Rice.
Yeah.
With
the wee flick
out to Trossard right into him.
How many goals has Trossard got by the way?
I know. We spoke about it before, how good a finisher he is.
But he can be kind of shite for long periods of a game and then pop up with a goal.
That's why he's usually a sub. But if he keeps playing the way he is, there's no reason for Arsenal to change things now.
He's got quite bulbous eyes, hasn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, he
looks like a wee frog or something.
So what, he's here no Ozil?
Do you know, like, have you ever seen that meme where like everybody's either a frog or a rat?
No.
Do you know what I mean?
No,
like, see, you can categorise human faces into two types, and it's frog or rat. Like, I'm a rat. You're a bit froggy, to be honest. You got white cheeks, eh?
Well, that's good to know. What are you? Leave it in the comments.
Frog or rat?
A Frenchman or a snitch? What are you?
Was that a bit of xenophobia?
A sacre bleu. Bournemouth disallowed goal. What are your thoughts?
What one was that?
Where
I was half asleep when I was or half jaked when I was and I was half asleep. And Paul was away, mate. I was feral.
When Solanke gave a wee nudge to old David Raya.
It was like but there was a penalty shout in that as well.
Aye.
Well, like somebody's shot would get pulled right off. I think it's just, it shouldn't be a foul, but it will be given all the time if you touch a keeper. Because I think in the commentary they made a good point where Raya's both feet were on the ground, so that makes it different. Like if he's jumped already and you lean, you're gonna like knock him out. But like he was still like taking a few steps to get to the jump. He made it look, he sort of dived, which is fair play to him because he'd been nudged.
He was kind of moving in the direction of if he'd been properly nudged. But,
I think he's been clever. Do you know what I mean by saying like? He'll get a foul for this.
If he'd been clever, he wouldn't have got himself in that position. But
a bit harsh, but alright.
Not like I think he's made no attempt to play the ball. Solanke, he's just gone. I'm going to get in the way.
I'm just going to nudge
this guy, so I can see why it was given. But
Raya looked like he was flapping.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, and I don't think really it would have changed the game at all if they'd managed to get that goal back. I don't think they would have turned it around completely. Have we discussed all three goals? Oh yeah, Gabriel's goal that was disallowed for offside.
Oh, what a finish, man!
Who knew he had that in him? Like,
sweet finish.
What a hit, man! And then obviously Declan Rice gets the third goal to wrap it up. His season just keeps getting better and better.
Excellent season.
He's been a huge part of why Arsenal are a lot better than they were last season.
Yep.
In fact, this season Arsenal have already matched the most wins they've ever had in a Premier League season and the most goals they've ever scored.
I find that astonishing.
Yeah. They won't get the record points tally. They can't do that. They can finish one short of the Invincible
season,
which was 90. So they could get 89, I think it is, from where they are just now. But they could get their second best points tally ever. They will get their most wins. They will get their most goals, and they're still not going to win.
They're going to still lose it by 2 points.
I know, it's like the guy I was talking about.
Liverpool have had loads of him over the years.
Exactly, yeah. The guy that I was talking about, the Arsenal fan, is like he's not happy with how Arteta's run the club. I'm like, we're having basically the best season we could possibly have, and we're still not going to win a league. Like, I don't know how you can be unhappy with the manager.
Second best season in Premier League era, and still like, but
no, not good enough. Not good enough.
Feel me finger blood.
He's a white man from Coatbridge.
But that's just classic, isn't it? Feel me finger blood.
Yeah, I mean, when you're up against Pep City as Liverpool fans, you just have to accept it.
Yeah.
City Wolves, speaking of, Wolves are enemies of football. Anyone that refuses to beat Man City is an enemy of football.
What do you mean refuses to beat Man City? As if they're like, nah. Do you know what?
Well,
Thought about it.
City just have no chill at the moment, do they?
They're amazing. It's just, this is what they do, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Every time it gets to I think like March onwards, they're just like, right guys, let's, it's like when you sit forward in a game of FIFA.
oh, aye, they've leaned forward.
That's what they do, man. They just start leaning
They lean forward for
and
the last 10 games.
everyone else is just like, oh shit, we're done, man, we're done. Obviously, I was kind of like slightly hopeful for Wolves because they beat them earlier in the season at home. But I mean, when Holland decides, I'm destroying you, you're left with very little option, aren't you?
I watched this game with my mate and we were saying about how when Holland scored the first goal, the penalty, we're like, it's decent, but like he said, a kind of shite season, hasn't he? He scores another 3. He scored a hat-trick after we said that. So that's 4 goals in a game, man.
That's it. Like, it's 60. He's the fastest player ever to 60 goals in the Premier League, having achieved it in 63 games.
He
doesn't have a goal-to-game ratio, so he can fuck off, man. He's terrible.
Like, if he stays, he'll smash all the records.
Yeah, he will. And you're begging that he leaves so that Shearer remains intact.
As much as I love Shearer and what he did for Newcastle, the years of punditry have ground me down to kind of hating him a bit. He's a pain in the arse. Do you know what I mean? On a personal level.
and obviously you can't forgive him for when that time Neil Lennon headbutted his shoe, lest we forget.
Oh, that's right, aye.
People seem to have some disagreement about the first penalty. I think it's a stonewall penalty.
Remind me, because it was 2.
So this is when Gvardiol hits the shot and Nori, in attempting to clean it, just wipes him out.
It's a penalty, aye.
But even on Match of the Day, they were like, oh, that's just a natural coming together after a shot.
Were they?
Like, the ball's already gone.
Because I watched this game, I never watched it in the highlights package.
Well, the commentator thought it was a penalty, but the 2 pundits afterwards, I'm like,
what?
Mate, he's just booted him.
Aye, he just volleyed the guy.
It's a very similar thing to the
Rice one.
the Declan Rice one, in my opinion, like, which was obviously a penalty. I don't see how this is any different to that. It's a clear penalty to me. And as much as I wanted it not to be, I was in Kitty O'Shea's enjoying a lovely pint of Guinness watching it.
We're coming across as mad hokey cheeks.
I was at the Celtic game beforehand, so obviously I went to
fair
the
enough.
pub to
Fair enough.
beat Hearts 3-0. It was great.
Here's a wee IT joke for you. Are you saying he should have had more control alternate? That's horrific and I love it. That's just a wee IT joke.
You're trying to involve yourself in my life and I appreciate that passion.
What? You make me sound like a stalker.
No, we'll move on from that thought. Bernardo Silva was brilliant again.
He's class.
Yeah. No, I don't think he gets as much of the credit in the City team, obviously, because he's not Holland scoring all the goals.
He's not De Bruyne.
He's not De Bruyne, but the bit he does so much ball carrying for them and progression. It seems insulting to describe what he does as recycling possession, because when you usually describe that's about someone further back in the pitch that just retains the ball and keeps them.
I'd say
Silva,
Rodri does more of that than
but Silva does it, but when he moves the ball on, it's always in a forward way. It's always moving it on to someone in a better position. He's like his namesake,
Big David.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He did the same thing, like where he'll carry the ball 10 yards before passing it, which a lot of City players will do because it's all like 1 or 2 touch on it.
A slightly, it's not big. I'm bigging him up too much here. A less talented Zidane is the way I would say, because the roles they play are very, very similar. They're not the guy that gets all the goals. They might not even get all the assists, but what they do is something that almost no other player on the pitch could do.
They'll take somebody out of the game by taking the ball past them.
Yeah. And they're always available, and they never seem to lose possession.
And they never really take a bad touch that often.
You never go, oh, that was a shite touch, Bernardo. I don't know why I'm talking to him. I don't know why.
Shite touch, Bernardo, my man.
Aye, Benny, sort that out. I don't know why I would call him Benny either.
Oh, I think a reel when it was all the Man City players, and they were like, what's your cheat meal? And they're all like, Grealish is like 4 Budweiser on a pizza. And thingy, when it got to him, he was like, I'll have some bread and butter. I'm like, mate, live a little, man. Like, that's your cheap meal, toast.
He's like, what age is he now? Is he like 32?
Is he that old? I don't
He
think
he might be. Well, think about it. He was Monaco, must have been in 2017. That was his.
Oh, was he in that
breakthrough.
mad team?
Yeah, with Mbappe and Fabinho, and God, if they kept a hold of all those players, man, they'd probably just have turned out to PSG, really, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Haaland, actually, he had a good chance where Sam makes an excellent save from his header.
Yeah.
But it was a big warning sign of what was to come.
Aye.
Because the next header he got, I don't know if I've ever seen a man reach that height without mechanical aid.
Aye. And like, his arms were down.
It was like, yeah, you know those the Maasai jumpers like that you see that used to do idents in BBC.
Aye.
It was like that, man, and the header was
Your leapt.
perfect, like right into the far corner of the net.
Yeah.
Fucking talented
Big
prick.
Scandi salmon.
I was thinking that's Alex Salmon. You must be called Andy Salmon.
Stay away from him.
Weird to bring that up as well.
Stay away from him in this podcast and in life. Stay away from him.
That's good advice. That was his 200th goal in his last, was it 4 seasons or 5 seasons? Last 5 seasons.
40 a season.
40 a season, yeah. So by the end of this season, he'll average more than 40 a season.
Yep.
It's just ridiculous,
Incredible.
isn't it, man? Like,
incredible.
The man's a robot. And if it wasn't for the fact that Messi and Ronaldo came and completely skewed our ideas of what a good goal scoring season was, I think we'd be even more mind blown by this. But because that's in very recent memory for us, we're kind of like, yeah, it happens sometimes.
Aye, I know what you mean.
Second penalty. What did you think about that? Because Holland didn't appeal for that at all.
Aye, just get like poked down.
I think that was less of a penalty than the first one.
100%.
But I'm surprised that it got given because it went to VAR.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect that to get overturned.
Yeah, because there was so little contact on it. 2 people I was with both thought it was a penalty, but I was like, I'm not sure about that.
I think it's just because you didn't want them to get a penalty.
I was very behind the first one being a penalty.
Thingy, the actual taking of the penalty, the second one, he went the exact same way.
Sa almost got it.
But like, with the second one, he hit it with a lot more power. And he sort of like, his run up was class. He kind of like took him by surprise. Like where he was like, he just did a wee burst and like smacked it, which was nice to see. Just smacking a penalty.
Aye.
Unlike a penalty we'll talk about later.
Aye. The fourth goal was the pick of the match, though.
Oh, aye, superb.
Bringing it down, the control, the ball from Foden as well, who has added long balls to his game somehow.
Aye.
As in hitting long passes. I don't know of his genital
That's
situation.
2 in a couple of weeks where he's like actually dribbled.
Aye.
Because like that's part of his criticism that he doesn't. Like
Yeah,
everything's a
it's
one-touch finish or a header
Aye.
or a penalty. It's like, well, he can like do that as well. He just doesn't get an opportunity much because everybody else does the work for him.
Yeah, it's people that clearly didn't watch him at Borussia Dortmund.
Aye, where he had to do a lot of it himself and just ping it.
Exactly. A lot of his goals were him sprinting with the ball. So if you think that, you're an idiot. Just watch him a bit more. And then obviously he was raging getting subbed off.
Which class.
Which I like that because he wants to keep scoring goals. But I also understand why Pep's like, mate, you've got 4. I've got a world class World Cup winner,
Aye.
World Cup winner sitting on the bench.
Who then went on to score anyway.
Exactly. So,
but like, I get it. But like, they've got 3 more games they've got left in it because they've got a game in hand. 3 more games to win the league and an FA Cup final. You need to come off, mate.
Yeah, exactly. And I think you're safe with the golden boot.
Plus, you've already had 4, you greedy bastard.
Right, we'll do sort of a quick run through some of the others. Like Chelsea, West Ham. Let's do a wee bit on that. Chelsea looking all right all of a sudden.
No, like they either smash teams or get smashed.
Yeah, I mean, like people were quick to point out, oh, they're on a bit of form, and I'm like, it was 3 games ago, I think, where they lost,
and like Poch was
5-0 to Arsenal. Yeah, exactly. So, well, this isn't the first time West Ham have been beaten by like 5 or more goals this season, and I think David Moyes was probably going to go at the end of the season anyway. But after this result, they couldn't not announce it. And come out and say it. It's harsh on Moyes because he has had good results as well. It's just this is This is obviously a particularly bad one. Since that 5-0 loss to Arsenal, though, they've been not bad. 2-2 at Villa, not the worst result.
Aye, take that.
2-0 over Spurs, and now obviously beating West Ham 5-0. And Cole Palmer again, just absolutely vital in this game.
He's been phenomenal.
Yeah. Again, 100% young player of the season, probably signing.
Would you think his wee celebration?
I think I'd like it if it was by a player that wasn't in a Chelsea shirt.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Or if it was a more likeable player in general, because he's not a likeable character in my opinion.
I don't know much about like his character or anything like that, but there's something about just I've got ice in my veins. I'm like, you're playing for one of the biggest clubs in world football. Like I don't know. I just don't like Chelsea.
How does it rank in terms of celebrations? Who's your favourite celebration?
I like.
I mean, trademark, no, just a one time where like.
I liked.
Remember who was it? Evie Ambrose did about 20 backflips in a row, and we were all like, "What the fuck's happening?"
I was going to say I liked Loa's because no matter what the scoreline was, no matter how bad his team were doing in the league, he'd still do the flips regardless. Iconic wise, I loved obviously Henrik Larsson, but I'm biased with that. I quite liked Robbie Keane's for a while.
Robbie Keane's was good. I liked Harry Kane's is a terrible interpretation of it when he jumps and points down. Ronaldo's that's the bit, because that's partly like the atmosphere. That's part of the theatre of the goal as well, when he does it and then runs to the corner, does a big CU.
The iconic one for Champions League when we were growing up was Raul, like kissing his ring. That was the
Ravanelli.
Yeah, that was
shot at the top.
Aye,
mine's the Shearers. It's on in there.
I don't
Simple.
Don't do that just in case someone takes a still of it.
Mate, I was vertical, by the way. If we're sitting in a gradient,
it's a bit boring though, isn't it?
What makes it good is like if he scored a goal, he'd do that. See if he scored a screamer, he'd do that and put two hands up.
It's proper like 50s football, that, isn't it?
Aye. Because if he scored the volley against Everton from outside the box, that was a two-horner. And he only did two-horners about 10 out of his fucking 400 goals or whatever it was.
Not saying Peter Crouch's robot, no.
Oh, because he did it in an England shirt. Can't do it.
Jagielka scored a goal for Everton and did the full in-betweeners movie dance, the thing they did in the bar, including the wee horses and stuff like that. It was quite funny.
Etude in the old man thing.
Yeah, that was quite funny. I like that.
The golf club way.
The classic Cantona when he scores that chip and he just stands there collar pop like what a boss,
just
man.
Smelling the fart.
Yeah, that was exactly the thought that was in my head. I'm not going to go in and break down all the goals.
It was a pretty dull game. The goals weren't that great, and Nicholas Jackson scored two.
If Jackson scores two, maybe that's why Moyes got sacked. Can't be having it.
That's enough. Let's go into the funny one.
But it was a good result for. It was a good performance by Madueke as well. Him getting back involved. Oh, Conor Gallagher. We need to quickly mention that him hitting the bar with an open goal. Was that on it? Where's that going? Scale?
Right, it's
a volley, so that takes it down a bit. But
I think I'm gonna give it like a 3, only because he scored a decent goal in the game. Which, like, if it was the only chance,
he saved his own blushes.
If it was his only chance and he never scored, I would have gave it much more.
Yeah, so think on that, Conor Gallagher. So yeah, this is a funny one.
Yes, mate.
Crystal Palace, Man United. 18 shots Palace had in this game.
I'll tell you something about this. This game tells me how well that Goldbridge guy's done. And like the way he's fed himself into my algorithm. The first thing I did was go to his reaction. That's the first thing I did as soon as I seen the score, because I never watched the game.
I'm assuming he exploded.
Oh, aye, mate. He knocked his wee computer chair or everything, man. And because it was a bank holiday Monday, he'd had a few pints as well. So he was gone mental.
Well, what else are you going to do on a bank holiday Monday?
It was funny.
This leaves United in a real position where they might not get European football for next year. Obviously, they can get guaranteed Europa League if they win the FA Cup. Who is it they play in the final again?
The FA Cup final?
Yeah.
Some other team.
Oh, Man City.
Aye, not a chance.
No, absolutely not. Palace played quite well though. Elise and Eze again looked very, very good.
Class, aye.
Elise scored a couple of really good goals, the second one in particular. Maybe argue the goalkeeper should save it, but...
What's the name of the boy that scored the second goal?
Mateta, Jean-Philippe Mateta.
Oh,
yeah.
Mate, he's been
that
class.
was really good, yeah.
The guy's built like a fucking tank, man. It's massive.
But the defending for that was terrible. Like, Johnny Evans just goes like, puts a leg vaguely in his direction and goes, well, I've done all I can.
Aye, and just stops. Aye.
And the player trying to chase back and catch up with him was 32-year-old heart attack survivor Christian Eriksen. Like, what did they expect to happen? Like, of course he's not going to catch up with 32-year-old heart attack survivor.
What a way to describe one of the best players for the modern era.
Is every piece of information
Maybe he's not one
in
of the
that
best,
description correct?
I know, but he's like been a great player.
Yes, he was. He was a very good player.
Yeah, he was pre-heart attack.
Yeah,
Pre-heart attack and pre-going bald.
Casemiro was awful again. He got pressed at losing the ball
Carragher was
so
going
easy.
after him, man.
Aye, I love the idea of him actually going after him.
Aye.
He's sitting in his car waiting for him to leave.
Speeding up next to him in the waterway. Spitting at him like a 14-year-old girl.
It could have been worse as well. Hughes forced Onana into a save, and Onana actually made another really good save.
And then basic goalkeeping.
Aye,
terrible.
And then Edward rattled the post as well. So really, this could have been a lot worse for them. Mm-hmm. And I get that they said they're not going to announce any changes in management or like whatever until after the FA Cup final. That's the kind of thing they're going to do. But surely he can, and we've said this before after bad results with Man United, but surely he can't keep his job if they're losing 4-0 at Crystal Palace. And Carragher said that this is the worst coach team like he's ever seen. There's just no plan.
Aye, they look shocking.
Yeah, I mean,
and they look like they don't want to play for him either.
The fact is that the Man United fans I know that I'm pals with, they're almost like apathetic to it now. They're almost like they can't care about it.
They're expecting to get beat off at Crystal Palace.
Yeah, like
which is ridiculous.
Ten Hag really is just not suited to the league, the team. It's too big a job for him, and he just doesn't look like he has a clue what he's doing. Yep. Ajax want him back. Makes perfect sense. Him go back there and try not to fuck that up. Essentially,
what you're saying is go back to where you came from.
That is not what I said, Patrick. This is just like, why is it all coming out in this
xenophobia?
episode?
I love it.
Yeah, anyway, that's the name of this episode. Xenophobia. I love it. That's what.
The Burnley Newcastle.
Yeah, we do need to talk about this. Again, Newcastle started a bit slow, like they did in the Sheffield game. Burnley had a couple of chances, but again, these teams are fighting for their survival.
Dubravka made a good save at the start.
Yeah, he made a very
Shout
good save.
out Dubravka, because he's actually done well. Because see, when you're a sub-keeper, everybody's kind of waiting for you to make a mistake, and he has made a couple, but like, on the whole, he's actually done very well.
Newcastle have always had like decent backup goalies. Like, think of Steve Harper back in the day, was always a pretty solid one. And then Rob Elliott, what was it? Someone low you had?
Can't remember.
Or Darlow. That was another one. Like, you always had decent backup goalies.
Lois Karius.
Yeah, maybe not him. See, I just said before I'd even thought about that. Yeah, but again, good performance from Isaac. Although he did miss a penalty, but he made up for it a bit later. Callum Wilson getting the goal that makes him the officially the second highest scorer for Newcastle in the Premier League.
Good stuff for the big man.
Yeah, and Longstaff, can't go into it, but we talked earlier in the season about how Newcastle have a propensity of players arriving from midfield late on the box and scoring goals from midfield, which happened twice in this game, so we do know what we're talking about. So,
Bruno.
So like you said, Newcastle do stand a chance of finishing in higher than Tottenham.
Yep.
But I think realistically, six is yours now.
Which is a good season.
Yeah, a very good season. Guaranteed European football, can rebuild next season. Right. And although I would advise, because I didn't know he was still playing football, maybe move Matt Ritchie on by that point.
Oh, aye. The only thing he did in the game was give away the corner, which led to the goal.
Burnley not mathematically down, but they need Nottingham Forest to lose both of their games, and Luton to lose at least one.
Nah, I don't think.
And for Burnley to win both of theirs, which I'm sorry, Burnley fans, it's not going to happen. Paddy isn't sorry, but I am. Right.
Yeah, I've softened up a wee bit in Burnley.
Well, because Dyche has left.
No, it's kind of just like, stop. They're already dead. Do you know what I mean?
Unfortunately, I think Luton will be as well, because Forest are keeping the 4-point deduction, and it's not getting any worse, so it's not getting any better. So like, they just look like they've got the quality more than the rest of the teams to stay up.
Yeah.
Right, well, that's all we got time for this week. We've got to go and do comedy things, so
Yes.
It's goodbye from Patrick.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Stay fresh, cheese bags.